What? We've been married 3 years.
Out of his mouth.
That may be ending soon. After one of our shows, we had this really sweet old lady come up to my wife, and she kind of tugged on her sleeve, and she said, "Jillian, I've been around the block for a while. I've been married twice. I've been divorced, and I've been widowed. And let me let you in on a secret. It's easier to bury them than divorce." And I'm like, wait a minute, don't tell her that! I know, but see, I have a sword too, and so when we fight, as long as my shoes don't go flying out into the audience and severe distraction, I can take her.
Which would be epic. It would.
Alright, but if you lose, you have to wear the hat. To bed tonight.
Don't put your fantasies on the floor.
Back to our... Isn't this supposed to be a sword class? To the page!
To the page.
May the better samurai win. The better trained samurai.
Oh,
The one who can read the script.
it's on now.
You want to go later or do you want to watch it?
Oh my God.
Ready?
Hey. So keep your focus. You lose.
Fine. Are you happy now? No. Only 6 more to go. Do we have to do this part? It's starting to look like our first date. All right, fine. Oh yeah, take my picture now. All right. Sadists. All right, what we would like to do is arm as many of you as we can safely do.
If I go out there, will you keep this
We'll do
running?
this in groups.
I will try.
If you don't get a stick the first time through, don't leave.
We actually have 2 hours for what's normally an hour-long panel. Now, we have more than enough material for about 20 years worth of class. But, since we don't have a time crunch, we will trade off Boken. If you have a wooden sword that was actually intended for practice, you can use it. If you have a decoration or a cosplay sword, and you will cry if it gets broken, please don't use it.
Okay.
Right? Because
I wish I brought mine.
By contact, I mean on someone else's sword rather than their head.
Aw, no melon squashing?
But that's fun.
Only when it's not yours.
If I go first one, will you go the
The
second?
blood level goes down if you're the one getting hit on the head with a sword,
Well,
unless
then.
you're one of those sick people. And if you are, please come take classes.
Hey, camera.
Right, my wife is arming
Keep it on
you.
them until I go out there, then keep it on me. Alright.
And now you just turned it into a melee. Great. Right, we still have... Alright.
Will somebody give me one?
You have a stick and you are
The last one just got grabbed.
Before we start, if you have equipment like purses, or can you do me a favor and move them to the back wall?
I'm moving myself right there.
We gotta move. We won't be doing anything that fast.
If you're not armed, you are also going to want to back up slightly. Give the people with sticks room to move.
Did not realize there was something. Scoot back.
I'll be able to use this one.
Alright, if you have a stick, what we are going to do is we are going to create lines.
And let's go.
Drew. What?
Right. Let me have. Somebody you do it.
Alright.
Oh my God. When it takes to the stage, it'll be easier.
I need a line. Give me a line of about 7 or 8 people right here facing the stage.
So you're going to look this way. You're going to be in layers. Give yourself enough room
Second row about here.
that if you hit somebody, it'll be completely by accident.
Have a third row.
But that means we still have some gear. Can we move
I got it.
this and that? you should probably move too. Yes, sir. A little bit. And you 2, 3, whatever that group is, we're going to be going up and down this way.
All right. Yes, let's move.
Samurai tree. Yeah, I'm get a wooden boat and a train. We're going to get your making a wooden sword and all that. Or you can borrow
What? A long time.
I'm probably too late. Wow, get up. Where's my bag? So I can totally use this? Oh, your box? It was on the box. It was not on the box. You lost the bag.
You definitely got to get
It was on the head.
What?
If only Christina and them were here, you definitely are going to have to get this and show them.
We got the gap here. Alright, let me have some people sticks down here. Alright,
How we doing? Are we mostly armed? Alright, now, this is the part of class that's going to be this much serious, and this is where I reinstitute the whole Samurai Dan is also known as Sensei Dan. All of the joking and the carrying on is perfect and acceptable while no one gets hurt. When you hear me say, stop, don't do that, that's me being nice. The next part is me taking the weapon away from you with you on the floor, because we will not have an injury here or we won't be back next time. And this is much more fun than staying home. It should be for you too. If you have a martial arts background, that's fabulous. Talk to me afterwards. Please do not demonstrate for the other patrons. And by that, what I mean is, if you're an expert, don't spin the sword around and spin it and throw it around your head and catch it. Because Murphy loves you people. And I don't want anybody to get hurt. Okay? What we're going to do... I made that joke at one con, and the guy's name was Murphy. It would have been just only mildly funny, but what propelled him to the top of the Bark news headlines was he hit himself in the groin during class. We consider that natural selection of work. So be careful. This is what I want you to do.
I had to get it.
That stick you're carrying is now officially a sword. Get it up off the floor. European swordsmanship, you're going to see them stand like this. I know you're going to see pictures of samurai doing this, but they were ill-trained and not very successful. They were very careful with their swords. So up off the floor. This is the part where I talk and you listen. I talk, you listen. I talk, you listen. I talk, you talk. I step on your face. I say that to our children's class, and they laughed until I stepped on somebody. And then Godzilla flattens Tokyo type of thing. This is all I want you to do. From right where you're standing, I want you to take your right foot. And for those of you that are dyslexic, that's this side. This foot in front. Take the sword. I don't care if you're holding a round one. It doesn't matter that much which end you hold. Okay? Well, point. Does that mean your right foot does not function? Yes, it does. Okay. I'm ambidextrous. Guess what? I can do left, right. And actually, everybody can. We're going to step and cut. So if you start with your right foot in front, your first cut's going to be delivered with your left foot. Real happy. Okay. Now, I want you to take your hand, and since you're left-handed, in Japan, everyone trained right-handed. The fact that 8 out of 9 people are right-handed, and Japan being a very big conformist society, everybody had to do this the same way. That doesn't mean they didn't use left-handed techniques. Okay, after the Tokugawas came into power in 1600, they actually employed more spies than any of your ninja novels. They were called Netsuke. And one of the things they did was they actually looked for signs of left-handedness among people and would recruit them, because you could do really cool draws. If you're a natural lefty, everybody's got the sword on this side, and you're expecting them to go, "What?" This is how you stop a samurai from drawing his sword. You grab his arm or cut at his arm when he's trying to draw. And if you're actually left-handed in a life or death situation, you go like this. They look at the other arm and you go out and down. Fight's over. We're close. Thanks for but for normal class, everybody had to be right hand dominant. I don't care whether you put your right hand on top or left, because since we only have one class, my bigger priority over etiquette is safety. So I want you to control your weapon. But you have your right foot in front. I want you to hold the sword out, put it straight out in front of you at an imaginary opponent's throat. So if you're holding it down here, you're fighting my daughter. If it's up over your head, you're either after me or King Kong. Okay? Right foot in front, and the only thing that I'm going to ask is that you separate your hands 2 to 3 fingers width. Okay? Japanese swordsmanship, different than American baseball. If you play baseball, if you're a contact hitter, you choke up. Gives you good control of the bat. You can dink it into center field and left and through the whole short. And if you're a home run hitter, you bring your hands clear down. It gives you more power. Japanese swordsmanship is a compromise between speed and power. It gives you control. It lets you cut and change direction by having your hands separated a little bit. Okay? So 2 or 3 fingers width. All right. What we're going to do is very, very simple. Hopefully she's got you staggered in your rows. Okay, perfect. Try to maintain this discipline, because if you step and cut when I tell you to, and she brain freezes and goes, "What does step mean?" and looks around, you step and cut right where she's not, and everybody lives and laughs about it. Otherwise, it's not near so cute. Alright, what we're going to do, I'm going to count. We're going to do 2 steps going forwards. On the first count, you're going to bring the sword up over your head. Please don't bring it all the way back to here. Looks great in the movies, and that's usually where the guy dies by being cut in half across the midsection. Bring it up here, step, reach out, and cut down. Keep your eyes up. If you look at the sword, it's kind of like driver's ed. If you stare at the oncoming traffic, that's where you steer. Look up. Picture cutting an opponent all the way in half, okay? Second count, we're going to do the exact same thing. You're going to bring the sword up, step forwards, and do shinchokogiri. It's a straight cut, right down the middle. Crown of the head, all the way through. Okay? 2 times. 1, 2. And then we'll freeze for just a moment. Alright, ready? Coming forward. Each. Same thing again. Knee. Okay, now hold your position. What we're going to do now is we're going to step backwards and cut. Do not confuse this with running away. Okay? I don't want you to step backwards and put your weight on your back leg and swing like this. This is a completely defensive, get away from me posture. For the samurai, you can strike with this part of the sword. Metal cat. Kashira. If you get in close quarters combat, you can go wham! Hit him in the face. And it's dangerous. You can hurt somebody. See this part? This is the sharp part of a sword that was designed to cut through a human body. If I hit it with this, fight's over. So if we get this close, what I'm going to do is step backwards so I can hit her with the strongest part of the sword. In our kids' class, we call this the hitting the big dog move. Because this is a big dog coming at your leg and you stepping back going, "Bad dog, boom!" And then leaving before the owner comes out. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a step backwards, cut straight down. Then we're going to do it again. So it puts us right back where we started, okay? Ready? Stepping backwards. On. Once more. She. Alright, kamai. Kamai just means ready position. Normally in forms, what that means is you return to the position you started in. And if that's pointed right at somebody, that's where you go back to, okay? Alright, this time, we're going to yell. You notice she was going, "Hey, ya!" It's violent samurai stuff, okay? You can scream out your name or "For Tokyo!" something. But the idea in the martial arts is unifying mind, body, and spirit. If you're yelling, called ki, you're projecting force outwards. Different arts, different styles. Samurai martial arts, the ki ends in a vowel because it's a pushing out expression.